Hey there, Darkstar here. Back with some more career mode. Of course, we're pretty far along in our career mode now, so we can pretty much do anything we want. We're just waiting for future updates to come along. One thing I've been doing lately is I'm trying to unlock the whole world. So I now have a lot more of China, Russia, India, Pakistan, Indonesia's all done, Australia's all done. There are these gaps that you can't really get to. There's like nothing inside of them. I'm just trying to get all of the airports and everything. I mean, there's no way to unlock like some of this land region. There's a lot of little gaps around this area of Australia. And this is the biggest single area I've found so far. Like this whole desert area here. It's just, there's no airports or anything in here that I can find. There is one up here, and this is very near an area that we're going to look at. We might actually just do a little mission out of here just to check it out. Maybe do this search and rescue here even. That's an airplane search and rescue. I don't like those. These are all going to be airplane, aren't they? Well, we'll do some filters here and figure out what we're going to do. Anyway, we'll also, so I still got to do Africa, which is pretty big, and some of the Middle East here, and I've still got to do chunks of the biggest chunk of South America. I did kind of this bottom part. I've done everything I can do here. There's only a few Antarctica airports, so I've got those. I've got all this, New Zealand. I don't even know what all these island chains are. I know Bora Bora's out here somewhere. Hawaiian Islands, Japan, all this area is done. These are all just gaps you can't get to. Like up in Siberia and Russia. Wherever these all are. The northern area is all done. So like Greenland's done, such as it can be done. Iceland, like there's a couple little, there's one and a little island up here. These are all just gaps that you can't cover. Same here for Canada. There's a bunch of gaps in this area you can't get to. There's just no airports near it. This shouldn't take too long, it looks like. There's not a whole lot out here. Just gotta hit a few spots. How come I'm not even seeing any? Did I suddenly somehow get into spot free mode? I don't know. Anyway, I found this cool little area here. So I thought I'd try and do a mission out of here. Look at this area though, it's wild. Let's fix our sound issue. There we go, now I can hear it. Am I audible? Yes, I seem to be on the stream. Okay. Ooh, a PC-12. I have not flown a PC-12 in way too long. This will be interesting. It's a boring looking one. I do know that we want to set our cruise to 180. ATC will often bump you up 1,000, so I can put you 19,000 feet. You don't want to go up to 20,000 feet. You want to stay below 20,000 feet. Oh, we're in employee mode. Do I care? I don't think I really care. I'm just going sightseeing. I mean, the money difference doesn't really mean anything. We'll do this. Oh, and you probably saw someone on there, but I have like, I don't know, 74 planes now. I have basically one of every kind of plane in every company that you can have them in. So I've completed the entire set. There's some like the DHC2, there's 3 variants of it. And in one company I have all 3 variants, but in the others I only got 1. They cost exactly the same and they pay out exactly the same in passive, so I don't feel like I need to have more than 1. Vision Jet has 3 versions. You know, has the executive seating, the family seating, and the complete seating. Again, all cost exactly the same and all pay out the same. One of the weird ones, so there's 2 variants of the Cessna 172. There's the G1000 variant and the steam gauges variant, if you have it. And if you do, then that is one plane that comes in 2 flavors where they cost different amounts and they pay out a different amount in passive. The 172 steam gauges is slightly cheaper. And pays out slightly less as well. I mean, there's no practical difference between them, but I was doing some experimentation on passive income. So I wanted one of every kind of plane. I love this plane because you can just reach all the things you need to reach from one place.
Good morning, Captain. First time we work together. Great. I'm Lou, your co-pilot.
Alright, a little rusty on this. What do we do? Battery. Battery. Standby bus.
Gear.
That's because my gear levers popped up. Okay, we'll go ahead and get our beacon and nav on. We want to get avionics bus on. Master power. Emergency off. Okay, so we got the batteries on, we got the avionics on. Once that comes up, we are good. We have our engine instrument. Starter ignition.
Our sensitive cargo containers are built to handle slight turbulence, but maintain a constant flight speed and adapt to changing conditions. A prompt and safe delivery is key for the success of our business.
Zulu Mike Alpha Zulu traffic. Summit Charlie Lima Foxtrot 85 is taxiing to runway 12. Zulu Mike Alpha Zulu traffic.
visual on 25 straight in. Good enough for me. I think we're ready to taxi.
Zulu Mike Alpha Zulu traffic. Summit Charlie Lima Foxtrot 85. Taking off runway 12. Departure to the west. Zulu Mike Alpha Zulu traffic.
Okay, looks like we got a little bit of a crosswind from the right. We are taking off the opposite direction that we want to head, so we're going to want to take off and let's loop around to the left. Crosswind, pretty stiff breeze.
V1, rotate.
Gear coming up. Get those flaps up as well. Our agent.
Landshouse Center, Summit Charlie Lima Foxtrot 85 is type Pilatus PC-12, 1 miles east of Zulu Mike Alpha Zulu, 6,100 feet. Request flight following.
Summit Charlie Lima Foxtrot 85, Landshouse Center, squawk 0667.
Squawk 0667, Summit Charlie Lima Foxtrot 85.
Summit Charlie Lima Foxtrot 85. Radar contact 2 miles northeast of Zulu Mike Alpha Zulu, 6,600 feet. QNH 1000.
Roger. Summit Charlie Lima Foxtrot 85.
Autopilot on here. Activate nav mode, flight level change mode, auto throttle on. Good. Locking our current heading. We're intercepting here. We are in FMS mode. If we weren't, we would do nav cell. We needed to switch. If we weren't, it would be looking like
10,000 feet.
Summit Charlie
just
Lima
about to do that.
Foxtrot 85 is clear to uniform Zulu Romeo Airport is filed. Squawk 0667.
Dang it. I suppose we can probably cancel IFR. We'll leave it for now. Let's go ahead and cancel it.
Lanshow Center, Summit Charlie Lima Foxtrot 85 would like to cancel IFR.
Summit Charlie Lima Foxtrot 85. IFR flight plan is canceled. Radar service terminated. Squawk 7000. Maintain VFR. Frequency change approved. Good day.
So there's a couple of different ways to do this. You can dial it in here using this. You can go down here to transponder and you can do 7. You can also try VFR, depends on if it's going to be 1200 or 7000. Apply. There we go, 7000. Let's get probes on. Shouldn't need any anti-ice. Let's get oxygen on. Should have done that when we started. These are inhibits, we leave those on. We messed up and didn't do our lights before the takeoff and everything. So I get strobes on. Ah, it feels good to be back in the PC-12. Kind of one thing I remember when I first was flying is that it flew really well. I liked it. It also happens to be pretty fast and have a pretty good range. Seems overall, in career mode, I think it's one of the better planes. It just has the pressurization problem. And while we're talking about that, there is supposedly, and I have it installed right now, I don't know if it works. Post it in chat, I guess, for now. I'll put it in the description. Let's see, can I put things in the description now? So I'll share what I'm talking about here. There on flightsim.to, there is a PC-12 NGX pressurization fix for 2024. Depending on if you're on the beta or not, you'll need to select one of two versions. It's in the same zip, you just download it. And you put it in your folder, your community folder. We might be able to test it out here. We're supposed to be sightseeing here. That's just a seam, right? Yeah, it's an artifact. Now this is climbed at 18,900 feet. That's interesting. We are locked into our thing. We want to go to standard barometric pressure. There we go. It's popping us up a ways. Check fuel quantity. Try 19. Does it want us? Step up a little bit at a time until this clears. There we go. That's a weird one. Drag this up and down to zoom in and out. Vertical. There's a pretty much looking mountain up there. Alright, let's try some sim rate. And of course our favorite sim rate monitor is the clock. Alright, 4x. And 8x. Higher sim rates, you want to be careful of those corners. I'm almost tempted to just do a direct 2 and see if we can get away with it, but if you get too far away from the flight path, it'll fail you. 700 nautical miles. Some nice looking mountains there. Let's see if we can up our graphics a little bit. Objects, terrain. Loading in a little bit more detail. Kind of hazy. Getting into some greener area up in here. Wow, that's very flat. I mean, I know it's not as flat as it looks, but you know, like normally mountains are like that just got completely leveled off. I never noticed the things disappearing behind you. That's kind of funny. I like to leave those on for missions because missions are weird. You don't have to follow the blue lines. You don't have to be right on the blue lines or anything. You want to stick sort of close-ish to them. This corner. Some reason, another good reason to have them on. Kind of tell when you're coming up on the next turn. Lower that sim rate just a little bit. And this plane is so stable compared to a lot of them. Try even 16x. This does tend to get a little swervy and porpoise. You can see it already starting to swerve back and forth. But 737 won't hardly ever do 16x for more than a second. tall mountain off on the distance there. Maybe this one? No, I think that one's maybe the wrong way. Maybe over here somewhere, I don't know. Must be this one. It's too close for those others. It's weird how it counterbanks a little bit first. Like it banked to the left and then to the right. I wonder why it's doing that. See the square boundary on this. So let's see, are we getting a, yeah, we have a discontinuity now because we put in the arrival there. Okay, so if you want to have this, what you want to do is select the runway waypoint and cross. Select altitude at, and it should have their runway altitude here or thereabouts. Might be just a little bit above it or a little bit below it. Watch out for that. And then apply. That will cause it to automatically fly down to that altitude, kind of like it would in a Vision Jet if you're doing a quote-unquote visual approach. Another thing you could do, you can select a waypoint and you can say cross and you can set a speed and then it's automatically going to slow down to that speed. So we can set like 115 here if we want to slow down. And then maybe at this waypoint, which is your kind of final fix. Cross, and you can set a speed here for like 105. Skip waypoint. Looks like our top of descent's about here. I would say we probably want to get rid of this waypoint, really. Delete. So that was our waypoint that had a speed on it, but that's okay. Sim rate back up. Some light in here. No, we don't. We don't need light. We do, however, need gas. Apparently, the lower altitude we have to fly at is not conducive to current fuel usage. Mess up the cameras on this thing. Let's go ahead and get set up for our descent. Let's see. Okay, so 3,280 feet. It's here, right at Sarin. And we want to watch, make sure we don't get over speed at that point. I'll slow this up right down. Of course, if you don't have VNAV in a plane and you just want to estimate it, you want to take, so like we're at, just call it roughly, we're at 20,000 feet, so call that at 20, triple that, that's 60 nautical miles out. So when you're 60 nautical miles from where you want to get down, 20,000 feet, that's when you'd start your descent. Start our descent early? Oh no, I have that actually, sorry, that was TCH, not TOD. Okay, top of descent's up here. I was gonna say that's a little early because we're a little more than 60 nautical miles out, and you don't really need that long necessarily. Yeah, you can see that's going to come up to be a lot closer, maybe just a little under. Okay, submarine's normal. There goes our descent starting, and we're just a little under 60 nautical miles out. But we're also not going down 20,000 feet, so it's a really good estimate. Doing a good job managing speed. I need to remind myself what capabilities we have here. We have no spoilers, just flaps. Okay, 15, 30, 40 on the flaps. We're below 18,000, although we don't have a true, this isn't the US, so, but I'll go ahead and turn off that, and we'll just pick up the local barometer. Let's go ahead and get our landing lights on. Just dropped our speed, so I don't want to drop my speed that much. go faster now that we're down lower. If you want the plane to do VNAV all the way down, you'd want to lower your altitude all the way down to the airport altitude. So like we could go down to 17. Or you could leave it at 18 if you would want to cut it off just to, before you get down to the runway. Or even higher if you were really being safety cautious. So the blue lines are going off that way still because they're going to that other waypoint. We're just cutting that corner a little bit. Alright, let's sim right up. Get closer to the airport here. You can see our terrain coming in. But it's a nice clear day, so we know we're not going to hit anything here. Okay, we are on normal sim right now. And if we change our arrival to a straight in, procedure, it'll be closer to what we're going to actually fly. Although this waypoint doesn't exactly agree with this one, it'll be a lot closer. So we're coming straight from Sarin here over to our final and then down to start slowing down here.
Uniform Zulu Romeo traffic. Summit Charlie Lima Foxtrot 85. 10 miles east for 1,900 feet. Inbound to land. Runway 25. Uniform Zulu Romeo traffic.
check. None at all. I thought they fixed this a long time ago. Get auto throttle off. Get our throttle dialed in. In the real plane, it would be where auto throttle had it. We have to find the right throttle position here. Crosswind coming from the left. So a little right rudder, a little left aileron, and too much flare. Reverse thrust.
Uniform Zulu Romeo traffic. Summit Charlie Lima Foxtrot 85 is taxiing to parking. Uniform Zulu Romeo traffic.
Glad we've arrived.
Okay, we can get the strobe off. Lights. That on. And you'd let the engine idle and cool down a little bit. And engine off. Not sure what happened there. That pushed me pretty far up into S tier. That's amazing. I think I was down in B tier or something because of some bad 737 flights. I have 76 planes now. So let's see if we go back. And then back into career. It should pay us out our passive for that flight. Yeah, there we go. It's not too bad for an employee mission. Short helicopter flight. As long as we're here, we might as well hit that. Trying to open up as much terrain as possible. We're getting there. There's some really neat looking places up here too. Okay, runway 13. Generous. Runway 34. That's good, yeah. Try it out. It's an interesting looking area. Yeah, they don't give you enough fuel, so let's add some fuel. And then, it'd probably be enough fuel if he didn't die above 20,000 feet. Let's not forget to put in our 20,000 feet. Actually, 18,000. And we can try VFR. Let's see if it takes it. Out of sheer paranoia, I often will file again once I get in. I wish every location had more of a mission type that you want to take. Like if I want to fly my PC-12 across Europe or something, it's like really hard to get it to go anywhere. You have to skip from airport to airport. Once you get into passenger and to some extent VIP, there's much more of a network of missions.
Good afternoon. So today we're flying to Zyryanka with general freight? Everything's secure at the back, nothing's moving. It's going to be smooth and easy.
That's what made me to request IFR clearance.
Share Sky Tower, Summit Sierra Tango Tango 77 IFR to Uniform Echo Sierra Uniform, ready to copy.
Summit Sierra Tango Tango 77 is cleared to Uniform Echo Sierra Uniform Airport. Via the OM-AT2 Delta departure. Expect runway 13. Maintain flight level 180. Departure frequency is 133.4. Squawk 0752.
Cleared to Uniform Echo Sierra Uniform via the OM-AT2 Delta departure, runway 13. Maintain flight level 180. Departure frequency is 133.4, squawk 0752. Summit Sierra Tango Tango 77.
Summit Sierra Tango Tango 77. Readback is correct. Contact ground on 124.0 when ready to taxi. Good day.
Our sensitive cargo containers are built to handle turbulence, but maintain a constant flight speed. Let's keep our delivery on time and safe.
Share Sky Ground, Summit Sierra Tango Tango 77 with Foxtrot, ready to taxi, IFR.
Summit Sierra Tango Tango 77. Taxi to and hold short runway 13 using taxiway. Contact tower on 124.0 when ready.
Autopilot.
Taxiing, hold short runway 13 using taxiway. Summit Sierra Tango Tango 77.
Okay. Looks like our hold short point is right there.
Share Sky Tower, Summit Sierra Tango Tango 77 ready for IFR departure, runway 13.
Summit Sierra Tango Tango 77. QNH 1010. Cleared for takeoff runway 13.
Clear for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff runway 13. Summit Sierra Tango Tango 77.
One thing we did not do is get this loaded. That'll be good enough for now. I have no idea where the runway is.
No takeoff. No takeoff.
V1, rotate.
Alright, gear up. Mach 15, flaps up. We're gonna need to turn around now. Reduce the
Summit
power a
Sierra
little bit.
Tango Tango 77. Contact Share Sky Center on 133.4. Good day.
There we go.
133.4 for Summit Sierra Tango Tango 77. Share Sky Center, Summit Sierra Tango Tango 77 is at 1,600 feet climbing flight, level 180.
Summit Sierra Tango, Tango 77, Share Sky Center, QNH 1010, radar contact continue.
actually. Okay, auto throttle took. Level change. Pretty good. Gears up, flaps up. Let's go and get lights off. Strobe stays on. I don't know what we're supposed to do with these. We'll turn them on. And look at all these little bodies of water. This place is just riddled with lakes. We've got rivers merging into rivers, digging up. So pretty. Okay, we're all good there. We got our oxygen on, just get our pitot heat on.
10,000 feet.
Standard barometer. So one thing you can do with cabin pressure is you can go hit the low cab button and it'll push that cabin pressure down. You can see it lowering the cabin pressure. It's only at 4,000 right now, but you can see it's lowering it even lower. And supposedly this was the fix for cruising above 20,000 feet, and it mostly seemed to work until it didn't, and terminated my mission. So I'd say be careful with it if you're using it. I do have the new change, so we could try try cruising. About 20,000. I don't really see any reason to. Speed cruise. It's like dark star speeds. Not sure how I feel about head tracking. It's definitely not the game changer some people say. It's interesting.
Summit Sierra Tango.
Uh-oh.
Summit Sierra Tango 77. Did you copy?
Going to 132.2. Summit Sierra Tango 77.
I should have put him on.
Syrianka Center, Summit Sierra Tango 77, flight level 180.
Summit Sierra Tango 77, Syrianka Center, QNH 1010, radar contact, continue to Nupka.
Why is there a crack in the world up there? Not this artifact. I think the world's actually broken up there in some places. Looks broken to me. You have to get down lower though. Are they gonna clear me to descend here, or what? So one thing we want to do, let's go to our arrival. Before, we probably want to go in here and say cross. Let's delete this. Let's see, cross and altitude. descent here. I don't know if ATC is going to clear us or not.
Summit Sierra Tango, Tango 77. Descend and maintain 6,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 6,000 feet. Summit Sierra Tango, Tango 77.
You can use your descent arc here to set your target. A little faster. We want to be 6,000 at this waypoint, I think. Alright, let's just double check this. So we're at an elevation of 117 feet, huh? Should be pretty interesting. Alright, let's come off standard barometer. So as your ground speed is higher, you want to descend faster. So you gotta watch out for that. It will adjust because your speed will go up a little. See our top of descent marker keeps pushing out ahead of us too. That's when VNAV would take over. We can arm VNAV just in case. We're currently well below the glide path. We can choose for us.
Summit Sierra Tango 77. Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect NDB Alpha approach via Victor Romeo transition. Circle to land, runway tree 4. Clear to Victor Romeo.
Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect NDB Alpha approach via Victor Romeo transition. Circle to land runway tree 4. Clear to Victor Romeo. Summit Sierra Tango 77.
Summit Sierra Tango 77. Contact Yakut's Tower on 125.6 when inbound.
I have no idea what we're supposed to be doing here. What is this thing?
feet.
Summit Sierra Tango 77. Acknowledge last transmission.
Tower on 125.6. Summit Sierra Tango 77.
Oh, now what do we got here? We don't have an NDB Alpha though. We have Zulu and Yankee, but only on 16. On 3-4 we've only got a visual.
Yakut's Tower, Summit Sierra Tango 77, 26 miles northeast. Inbound NDB Alpha approach, circle to land runway tree 4.
Summit Sierra Tango 77, Yakut's Tower, QNH 1009er, cleared NDB Alpha approach.
I suppose one thing we could do is set the so first of all, let's get this dialed down.
Cleared NDB Alpha approach. Summit Sierra Tango 77.
Okay, so let's put that's the direction of the NDB anyway. I guess let's overfly VR first. Trigger this, make sure that gets triggered. Okay, so we got our next VNAV altitude 2,300 feet. That's in there, and it is currently descending. Nobody chatting tonight. Oh well. Well, let's go ahead and get our lights on. Landing lights. That's the main one, I guess. You're useless, help. Okay, 200 feet, which should be just above the runway. So we should get our first glance at the runway here as we fly over it. So it should be right there.
Summit Sierra Tango Tango 77, wind 055 at 4. Clear to land runway tree 4.
Cleared to land runway tree 4. Summit Sierra Tango Tango 77.
Looks like we're gonna have a crosswind from the right landing. It says V path is armed. It looks like we're in a bit of a descent. Let's go ahead and slow down to our approach speed. 110. Get our first notch of flaps out. Okay, 30 flaps. Gear down. And there's our runway. Hey, yeah, I'm doing Kuruma. It's a cargo flight. Way up in Siberia somewhere. Way up there. Over here. Really pretty up there. Alright, we should probably pay attention because it looks like we're getting too low.
Autopilot.
Go a little extra speed here. I don't know why this thing has us so low already. Alright, 3 greens on the gear, flaps are down. We got our... should be all set here. Looks like a better approach angle. I don't know what it was doing. I'm busy like messing around with the map and everything, but okay, here we go. So the wind's died down, so we don't have too much of a crosswind. These unmarked runways.
Summit Sierra Tango Tango 77. Exit runway when able.
Okay, that looks like a better approach angle. I don't know what it was doing. I'm busy like messing around with the map and everything, but
Summit Sierra Tango Tango 77. Exit runway when able.
see our tire marks there on the runway, which is kind of cool. It's cool that they got that in. Can't see them very far, but
Summit Sierra Tango Tango 77. Exit runway when able. Summit Sierra Tango Tango 77. Contact ground on 125.6.
Going to 125.6, Summit Sierra Tango Tango 77. Yakut's ground, Summit Sierra Tango Tango 77. Request taxi to parking.
Summit Sierra Tango Tango 77. Taxi to general aviation parking using taxiway Alpha.
Taxiing to general aviation parking using
There it
taxiway
is.
Alpha. Summit Sierra Tango Tango 77.
I don't know who I'm supposed to be facing here, this guy or that guy.
Awesome flight, Captain.
Close enough.
Thanks for getting us here safe.
Okay. Well, hey, thanks for hanging out. That's my last flight for today. So I've got a good bit of the globe covered here. Yeah, I did a big push on passenger flight 737 missions. If you go back a few streams, you can see some of those, how I do it. Basically, it's like 10, 12 million every 30 minutes. It was pretty grindy though. And you're definitely like, hitting as many shortcuts as you can. But it was kind of fun. Yeah, and one of the key things to know is where the big money flights are. Not that one for sure. So you like want to go to Heathrow or JFK or a few other the very, very large airports and look there. go into missions list on the airport to get all of the missions that are available there. So like here's a 12 million one, and you get about 75% of that because you're skipping to descent and everything, but you're doing a lot more landings per hour. So some of these will push up around, I think this is not even all of them, but some will be like 19 million. Let's see if we can get it to come up. Pick the 737 and then try it. Yeah, there's a 14 million. Did I see one there? There it is, 19.5 million. That's one of the top paying ones. I do, and let me link you to them. I have a whole guide. I just wrote it the other weekend. Let's see, share. See if that opens up for you. But the main tips are you want to unlock cargo first. Once you unlock cargo light, you're really pretty set. You can do anything you want after that because you'll have enough money to mess around a little bit. I certainly did. I did every certification. I did helicopters. I did all kinds of stuff along the way. You don't have to go in a straight line, but you want to get your private pilot and then you want to get your commercial pilot. And then once you've got that, you should be able to unlock cargo, right? Not medium, light. You want cargo transport light. So you need level 10 commercial pilot. You'll need to perform some number of smooth landings and airplane missions with a C or above. So, you can do those with first flight or ferry flight. If you haven't yet, don't buy the flight scene company. Go straight to cargo. If you've already got the flight scene company, then just grind until you get cargo. Cargo will pay a lot better. It's more grinding if you get flight scene first, because your second plane costs about 10 times what your first plane cost. But yeah, once you do that, you're good, and the rest of the stuff's in the guide. After that, generally recommend you go charter private, and you want to get a Vision Jet, which would be about $1 million, but it'll be a lot easier once you have cargo light missions going. Once you do that, you can move up to cargo medium, where you might, I hate this plane. I like the plane itself, but I don't like the way it's implemented in here. So, but the Grand Caravan, try an employee mission if you're okay with how it flies. Go with that, or get the PC-12, one of those two. This one's a little more expensive, but it's the better plane anyway. And then later on, you can get like a PC-24 if you want. Bigger, better, faster than the PC-12, costs a little bit more. I like the 408, but the missions are kind of messed up, so it's not as good of a plane. I'd go for for these three, whichever ones you want. And then finally, well, not finally, but Charter Service VIP, where you can start off in a PC-12, but you'd probably go for like a PC-24 first. That's going to be your best bet. The CJ4 is really good, but it costs like 54 million, so it takes a while to save up for it. So you start off in like a 24. And then your next step is airline transport pilot, where the only option right now is the 737. I mean, the SOB missions are are there, and some of them work, but mostly they're pretty broken. The ES-30 is still pretty broken. Again, some of the missions work, some break. So, but you know, your meat and potatoes are the 737 missions. That's how you're gonna make more money if you're interested in getting up there. But yeah, this took like 2 weeks. It wasn't too bad. No, I have the honeycomb set up. Honeycomb Alpha Bravo Charlie, which is the yoke, the throttle quadrant, and the rudder pedals. It's not available yet. Future expansion. So if you look here, like heavy airliner is locked. So nobody can get it right now. Same for powered lift. So those are not available yet. Maybe Sim Update 4. So until you can't get the certification, you can't fly anything, right? And then your super heavy is going to be here, your 747s. Or the Beluga. And there's some other ones coming too, but it might be a while. There's even some marketplace plane that's supposedly going to be available. One of the Airbus. So if you look at my guide, it starts off with "this game is so freaking buggy." You will hit lots of bugs. You just gotta figure out ways around them. Are you on the Discord? There is a Flight Sim official Discord. I don't know how to link to it. Copy link, maybe? That might work. We hang out there and complain about career mode. Yeah, so if you have questions or something, yeah, check it out. We try to be helpful. And if you have any additions to the guide, like things you learn as you go along, just DM me. I'll try and add them in. It's a channel, not a server. Yes, it is. Let's see, how do I link to the server then? Invite people. Copy a link. I guess you have to join the... See if that'll let you join the server. Alright, well I'm gonna head out. Have a good day, evening, whatever it is your time. I will catch you later.